Hi guys, my name is Abigail and this video is going to be a sort of continuation of a video that I previously made of being 18 and married. And so, I don't know why that always makes me laugh. But, well, I think this video is basically going to continue on with the experiences I've encountered while being 18 and married and people's reactions to it and what they usually assume. Because, ever since we started giving out invitations and the news kind of spread through my siblings and through other people, the main assumption was that I would be pregnant, which is completely understandable, but in our case absurd, because it was just seriously guys, but that was just something that really bothered us and that we encounter all the time. We had been such a long time that we thought people wouldn't really always be having that idea of oh, the only reason why they'd get married is to get pregnant. Oh, because because she's pregnant or something. But that even happened with my own siblings. They would always, even the day of my wedding, they were like, "Oh, are you pregnant, Abigail?" And I'm just like, "No, we're just getting married." But yes, and that seemed to be something very common. And another thing is that because he is he has a stable status in the U.S. because he's not a citizen. They would also assume oh, are they rushing into it because of his legal status in the United States, and perhaps because I am a citizen and I was born in the United States. I was born in California, and many people might have thought oh, it's just to rush sort of that process, or maybe his parents are pushing them into it. And we were just guys, just calm down, we're just getting married because that's what we chose to do, which many people didn't believe us at all, but that's okay. So yes, and then also when we sort of as a young couple, we tried to go out more and try to do things that we usually wouldn't do, go to a more expensive restaurant, or going and looking for furniture at a furniture store. And many times we get a lot of weird stares, and mainly by the vendors. They're just what are they doing here type of thing. And that's kind of a bit of we find it a little insulting. Do they think we can't afford it because we are pretty financially stable? We sort of don't like people to assume things, but at the same time we get it because we do look pretty young, or really young. But yeah, and so throughout those experiences, we've learned to kind of ignore it and sort of just be sort of just see ourselves as yeah, we know we can afford it, so we don't care if you don't think we can. Or sort of many people, because I don't really wear my ring around, they think we're just dating or things like that. So I don't really mind it, but at the same time, it's just it's not the same look as oh, look at that married couple, as to when they see us and they're oh, they're young and they look like they're just dating and stuff like that. So it's not the same thing. But I don't know, I've kind of began to overcome those feelings of sort of I don't know. I really don't know what it is that I feel when that happens, but it's just I think it's sort of a bit of frustration, or I don't know. But that seems to happen a lot. If any of these things happen to you guys, please comment down below, because I would like to hear your stories. But yes, that's a lot of the things that happened to us. And also when we were actually looking for a place, we were with his little sister, and so many people we were looking for a studio or a 1-bedroom. And the thing that they'd always do is look at her and be oh, but no children allowed, or only 2 people. And we're yes, we're only 2 people. So that was kind of okay, we look like we're 17 and she's 10. How would that happen? But I don't know, that's just something that happened continuously. So we just pretty much like found it as something to laugh about. And so yeah, that's like just assumptions that people make just as a young couple in general. They're not always the most positive things, or they're not always the most like they don't always see it as, oh wow, they've got their life together so quickly. They see it as, what are they doing? They're so like crazy. Are they like studying? What are they like? Are they just living off of their parents? Those are mainly the main thoughts that come to people's minds, and we just seem to have to try to live with it, and at the same time understand, and at the same time try to just like not care. We pretty much ignore a lot of the things that that we seem to come face to face with in this situation, which is, I don't know, something that allows us to grow as well, because we're trying to grow as a couple, and we're trying to really see who we are as a couple, and just pretty much show that on the outside by we're more mature at sometimes, and we know that at the same time we don't need to take ourselves so seriously, because I mean, we're 18 and 19, and we still like to do at times childish things. Well, mainly him, but you know, but just the idea of like still enjoying our years because we are young, that also seems to be like sort of makes us ignore more of like the like comments that people make, because sometimes they're like, you're married, you should be acting more mature, you're no longer like you're not supposed to act like teenagers. And we're like, but we are teenagers, and the fact is that we enjoy acting like that with each other, and just still being playful, but at the same time just knowing that we have more responsibilities to keep up with. But yes, that's actually something that a lot of people actually say. They're like, oh no, you guys shouldn't be hanging out with the teenagers, you should be hanging out with like more married couples and grown couples. But at the same time, we don't seem to relate, which is something that I actually said in our previous video, that we seem to not relate to a lot of the couples, whether they're young and they have a child, or they're older and they have children as well. They're just older in general, and they don't seem to understand like our stage and like that we're in at the moment. And so it's actually quite difficult. We actually do have a couple that we do like have been hanging out with, and that's actually his cousin like and her boyfriend, which we actually seem to have a lot in common with. And we sort of like go off of each other, because we're more like conservative in a way, trying to come out of our shells, and they're just pretty much helping us, because they're so like out there and so like outspoken, which we seem to find like pretty cool about them, because we're not that way at all, and we're trying to get there like little by little, not completely like, oh guys, we're here, but you know, just trying to just show ourselves like who we are to other people in a like more like easy manner, I suppose. But yeah, I think that would pretty much explain like a young couple, you know, assumptions, you know, a lot of expectations that we probably don't meet. And so yeah, if you guys have any experiences or any questions about anything else, I will be posting more videos about our lives. And so anything else you guys would like to know, feel free to ask or to like share of your stories. So that would be great to hear. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe. I do have 2 other videos that I have uploaded, and so yes, I hope you guys enjoy it. So thank you.